Joseph! Willard, Hiram!
Why are you here? I thought you were safe in Montrose.
I was sent for, and here I am.
But it's not safe for you here. There's a warrant out for your arrest. You're wanted by the governor.
John, Hiram and I have decided to turn ourselves over to the law and do all that is required of us.
But Joseph...
Brother, since Brigham and the rest of the 12 are not yet returned from their mission, it is likely you will have charge of things here very soon. I want you to take care of the people and make sure the work on the temple continues as planned.
But Joseph, a temple needs a prophet to administer in the ordinances thereof. Surely the Lord will deliver you from your enemies, so that the people may receive the blessings for which they build his house.
Brother Taylor, do you not recall the meeting of the 12 apostles we had a few months ago, where I sealed upon your heads all the keys of the kingdom that the God of heaven has revealed to me? Now, no matter where I go or what I may do, the kingdom rests upon you. Hiram and I have some preparations to make before we leave for Carthage.
I want to go with you.
So do I. Let's all meet you back here and set off together.
Bless you.
Joseph, what is it?
Hiram, if you had such a farm and you knew you would not see it again, you would want to take a good look at it for the last time.
Are you having second thoughts?
No. I know that if I don't go to Carthage, it will mean the destruction of this city and its inhabitants. And I can't bear the thought of my poor brothers and sisters reliving the scenes of Nauvoo again in Missouri.
And yet
I worry for them. Have they been strengthened enough? Do they have what they need for their trek towards the Rocky Mountains?
think of all the times they proved their faithfulness.
Anyone he considers to be a friend. Much like most men, I believe.
Still, that mongrel? It's giving me a wink at night. How am I supposed to leave these men without a decent night's sleep? And while I'm on that subject, he's not the only thing keeping me up at night. My stomach's doing a fine job of that too. The food we have here is so poor, I can't believe we're not sick to death of eating it. If you'd have prepared better, we wouldn't be suffering like
Why,
we are
brother
right now.
Sylvester! You don't learn any better than a pig in a mud puddle, do you? Here you are chastening a prophet of God, when you yourself ought to bow down in humility and repent of that rebellious spirit before it's too late. Remember how the Lord said the scourge would come upon the camp, and we'd die like sheep if we didn't humble ourselves and repent? Are you willing to take on the Lord's scourge in your current state, brother Sylvester?
How dare you talk to me like that, so high and mighty Brigham Young? I'm the captain of these here men. I'll lead them. Joseph, look, the Missourians are coming. What should we do?
We got nigh 400 men coming from Richmond, Clay, and Jackson counties. And they've all sworn to God to destroy you off the face of this earth. They'll be crossing over Williams Ferry this very night. And then you're going to die, Joe. You're going to die before sunrise.
Gentlemen, please. Can't you see that we're on a peaceful mission to help our suffering brothers and sisters? We have no desire to fight you. We're not a company of war.
Liar! We know what you're after. You think you could just march into Missouri and take all our lands. Well, we're not going to stand for it, I tell you.
We'd rather die than let you set one foot on Missouri soil. But it ain't going to be us that's dying tonight. It ain't going to be us, boys.
Our weapons are ready. We're gonna have a real fight on our hands tonight, boys. Yeah! Think our 200 can take them?
No, brother, no. We will not fight this battle tonight. We will have no need. Stand still and see the salvation of God. In ancient times, Elijah, a prophet and seer, found himself encircled by a host of enemies. His servants saw the foes, and he called to him in fear. Alas, my master, what shall we do? But Elijah knew, the holy prophet knew. He answered the lad, and he calmed his fearful cries. Elijah prayed to God to let his servant see. God heard the plea, and straightway he opened up his eyes. He saw the army of the Lord, each one armed with a fiery sword. And Elijah said, those with us are more than we with them. The Lord of hosts commands the seraphim. For though 1,000 chariots surrounded us in war, the Lord will take the battlefield, for this is heaven's war. We are the modern Israel, called to take God's side. And now we succeed, how strong our faith will be. Pass the test and you'll behold the chosen sanctified. Open your eyes and do not doubt. You'll see angelic legions round about. There's some meaning to this. God is in this storm. And now I say, those with us are more than we with them. The Lord of hosts commands the seraphim. For though 1,000 enemies surrounded us in war, the Lord will take the battlefield, for this is heaven's war.
Look out there! Have you ever seen hail that can break the branches off of trees?
Look, the river must have reached 30 feet since the rain started. Those rascals will never get across now.
The whole horizon is ablaze with lightning. I can see their horses scattering like leaves in the wind.
Look at those Missourians running for shelter. How many men better to hold fight for the warriors? They'd rather be out for
Brother, many vengeance has gone forth from the God of battles to protect his servants. He knows the way. Trust in his arm, we will defend. Let him fight our battle this day. God is with us till the end. Those with us are more than we with them. The Lord of hosts commands the seraphim. For though 1,000 enemies surrounded us in war, the Lord will take the battlefield, for this is heaven's war.
before dawn every morning and still a mountain of laundry.
You know what the prophet says, Sister Richards? Faith can move mountains.
Moving it isn't the problem. I've been moving it out of my way all week. I need a real miracle.
What you need is a friend. Here, let me help you.
Darning socks and washing clothes, plucking chickens, chasing crows, scrubbing chambers, pots and floors, is there charity in chores?
I was at the public house this morning. Mary Southworth had her baby.
Why, that's a bit early, isn't it? I didn't think it was her time yet.
It wasn't her time, but evidently it was the baby's time. Took us all by surprise, and Brother Southworth is not due back from his mission for several weeks. Poor Mary, alone with all those children and a new baby.
Well, she won't be alone. That's why Joseph set up the public house for women whose husbands are away. We shall take care of her needs until Chester returns. We have an extra fresh portion of flour this week. Let's bring her a fresh loaf of bread.
Nothing like hot barley soup to go with a loaf of fresh bread. I'll bring a pot over for supper.
I'll be knitting those booties, pink or blue.
It's a boy, Sister Kimball. They named him Chester III.
Blue it is, bless his little heart.
I'll take care of the other children. I'm sure they could use a good bath tonight.
And I'll do their laundry. What? I'm a lot more motivated when I'm doing it for someone else.
Bless you all. There isn't a place in all the land that could have more benevolent women. I believe if we organize our efforts, we can make a great difference in the lives of those among us.
Every corner of Nauvoo has a service we can do. Giving aid and kindly deed is a woman's natural breed. A society of women is exactly what we need. We will feed the hungry crowd, clothe the naked toe to head, give the homeless room and board. For we want to serve the Lord. We want to serve the Lord.
The men are always in meetings. Wouldn't it be a relief to have an excuse of a meeting or two of our own?
Now, Sister Young, you know women have the ability to do more than one thing at a time. Even if we did have as many meetings to attend as the men do, we'd be knitting or embroidering all the way through them just the same.
Too true. If men could work like women do, Rome could have been built in a day.
Ordinary women working alongside the men, making miracles succeed with extraordinary deeds. In emergencies, the women of Nauvoo will intercede. A society of women is exactly what we need.
We may not be able to work on the temple, but there ought to be something we can do to help.
You're right, Sister Taylor. Couldn't we make shirts for the workers? I noticed some who seem to be wearing more holes than shirts.
It is a shame that those who work do and don't have decent work clothes.
All it takes is a needle and thread and a bit of linen. I don't even need a pattern. Just give me their measurements and I can whip up.
I'd be willing to donate the ticking off of all of my old mattresses.
We can use it to make our shirts.
It isn't as soft as linen, but it certainly wears well. I made a shirt for Brigham out of it last year, and I'm still waiting for it to wear out. And he sleeps in the blessed thing.
Oh, perfect, Sister Young. We'll gather at your house and sew our hearts out.
I'm not the best seamstress, but if we all work together, I'm sure I could learn to turn a cuff or two.
We'll teach you, dear. Sewing shirts is simple as pie. I can practically do it with my eyes shut. But keeping my garden up, that's another story. I once grew potatoes that never got any bigger than peas.
Sewing the shirts is a good start. There is a need, and we can fill it. Sisters, we are going to do something extraordinary with this society. We will provide relief for any situation that might require it. We expect extraordinary occasions and pressing calls. Sisters, the Female Relief Society of Nauvoo will now come to order. As your president, I am pleased to introduce our prophet and church president, President Joseph Smith Jr.
Sisters, the church was never perfectly organized until the women were thus organized after the pattern of the priesthood. We are well assured that you will act effectively upon those pure principles of humanity that flow spontaneously from your charitable hearts. Virtuous and holy and elect society, service and in charity, for this I turn the key. I would like the privilege of making the first donation to this newly organized society. Sister Smith, would you accept this $5 gold piece from me for the use of the society in its benevolent purposes? And remember, as president of this society, it is not only your duty to help the poor, but also to save souls. Oh, society of women, blessed women, mark the way. Your hands are granted of duty you must in prayer, serve with the might of angels, your work is there. For knowledge, wisdom, blessed women of our day. The blessings of heaven cannot be restrained as you go forth and fulfill your glorious purpose. This is the beginning of better days for this society and, dare I say, for the world in general.
Organized by a prophet of God. Now I know I can make a difference in the world.
Let us never take for granted this power that we have been given. We must strive to keep the Spirit with us if we plan to be made organized. Let us cherish one another, watch over and comfort one another, so that we may all gain instruction and sit down in heaven together. Fly to relief from strangers, relieve them from their care. Dry up the tears of orphans, and lift them from despair. Pour oil and wine to wounded, and make the widow's heart
is, children, the house of the Lord. How I long to see it finished.
Papa, what makes the temple so special?
Well, Julia, there are blessings that can only be received in the temple, like families being together forever. Eternity wouldn't mean much to me without all of you and your mama with me.
But Pa, what does eternity mean?
That's a good question, Freddie. I'll try and answer it. Do you see this ring your mama gave me? Does it have a beginning or an end?
Not that I can see.
That's right. And so this ring is like an image of eternity, where everything is one eternal round. And because of the temple ordinances, our family can live together in heaven for all eternity, with no end, no goodbyes.
I would like that.
Me too.
Excuse me, Brother Joseph.
Why, hello, Brother Weeks. Say, that's a mighty fine shirt you're wearing.
Do you like it? The Relief Society made it for me. One day I was sleeping in it, the next day I was wearing it. Anyway, do you see how I worked this out? We will be able to have those round windows you wanted.
Very good. I knew you could do it.
Hey there, Brother Joseph. Does the sun still look like the one you saw in Vision?
Very close, Brother Walker. Very close.
There won't be a building to equal it in the whole country.
That's right. It is God's house, after all.
Right. Well, I must get back to work. Hey, Brother Joseph, children.
But Papa, will God really live here?
I'm sure he'll visit Joseph. I saw him at the Kirtland Temple once. And now that he's commanded his house be built here, I'm sure he'll visit from time to time. You'd kind of say it's his home away from home, for it's the only place on earth that is worthy to hold him. House of God, holy home, where a child of God can come to feel his presence or see his face. In all the world, this is that place. Now there are little holes for foxes and nests for birds of air, but no home for our Savior, the Lord he had nowhere, until he called his saints to build him a house where he could dwell, a place of joy and revelation, where peace and love prevail. House of God, holy home, where a child of God can come to feel his presence or see his face. In all the world, this is that place. Praise be to God, and we will do it. Obey the Lord's command. A temple built on earth again. A temple built on earth again. A bridge from heaven's span. House of God, holy home, where a child of God can come to feel his presence or see his face. In all the world, this is that place. In all the world, this is that
All ashore! Stop ashore! Careful, watch your step there.
Oh, bless my soul, we've arrived.
I fear that day has cost you a brass band welcome. Here's nobody knew your boat was coming until tomorrow.
To be sure.
Would you mind showing the way, me lad?
Certainly. This here's, we're on the outskirts of Malvern now. This here's Parley Street.
Take it on up to Maine. I'm sure you'll find someone there to help you out. Someone in town.
Pardon me, but where might we find Joseph Smith?
Oh, Mayor Smith? He lives on the corner of Main and Water Street. You can't miss it.
Oh, we'd be looking for Joseph Smith, the prophet of the Lord.
One and the same. Folks around these parts call Nauvoo the city of Joseph. He pretty near built it himself. Well, if you look out there on the bluff, you'll see the grandest building in Illinois.
John, the temple. It's lovely. Remember, the missionaries in England told us about it.
It's coming along nicely.
If you don't mind me asking, what's he like, the prophet?
There ain't ever been another man like him, and I doubt there ever will be. You've come in the right spirit, which I think you have. You'll know him the moment you see him. Get your bags. Good day now.
'Tis a fine day for a walk. Wouldn't you say, me friends? My feet could use a bit of stable ground.
Well, shall we then?
Hello, sisters.
Okay.
And how are the children, Sister Kimball? Are they over their measles yet?
They are recovering quite well now since you gave them that blessing last week.
Wonderful. They'll be making mischief again in no time.
What a thoughtful man Brother Joseph is. He helped Brigham give our youngster the blessing when she had the croup, and she slept well that very night.
We are so blessed to have such a prophet in our midst. I wish I knew how to thank him properly for all we've done.
I'll make him a shirt.
John, I'm so anxious. We're such a long way from Hertfordshire, and American ways are so different. Do you think we'll fit in?
Now, Jane, the church in America is the same as it was in England. I'm sure we'll find our place.
Why, Brother Knight. Brother Knight, you need this cane more than I do.
Need some rain? Sure do.
What's the matter, sissy?
A wagon with ice splashed mud on my new shoes.
Well, I think we can take care of that.
My hat? What's wrong with it?
Brother Knight, you keep that cane as long as you need it, and then pass it down to each of your descendants with the first name of Joseph.
Well, thank you, Brother Joseph. I will.
I wonder how the prophet will take to a working-class couple from the Isles.
Alexander, I'm sure he's a first-rate chap. But I admit, I'm a wee bit nervous. It isn't every day you meet a prophet of God.
I'm sure he'll be right dignified. It's a shame we aren't more presentable ourselves.
Brother Joseph.
1 second, Charlie. There we go. Here, you keep that one. I've got another. What is it, Charlie?
Brother Joseph, will you pull sticks with me?
Well, you look a little bigger than the last time I pulled six with you. Are you sure the outcome's going to be any different?
There's only one way to find out.
All right then, boys. Let's have us a bit of fun.
Brother Joseph, don't you think it unseemly for a prophet of God to be engaged in such frivolous activities?
Brother Calhoun, I'm a man, and the Lord said through his prophet Lehi, men are that they might have joy. Now, these are my boys. I like them, and they like me. Would you deny me such wholesome joy as a little tussle with them?
Ready, set, go!
Well done, Charlie. Well now, who have we here? You must be part of the Lord's flock from Liverpool. Thought I heard a whistle, but we weren't expecting you until tomorrow. Welcome, I'm Joseph Smith.
John Bindler, sir, and my wife, Jane. We hail from England.
Yes, I've received your letters.
'Tis an honor.
'Tis mine.
Alexander and Jesse Hay from Bishopton, Scotland.
Welcome. All that way, and no one to meet you at the docks. My apologies. You shall dine at our house tonight. Emma! Emma, we have 5 extra places, don't we?
Of course. Please come. It would be our pleasure. It would be our pleasure.
Wonderful. We'll find you a place to lodge, and we'll get you settled.
Joseph, let's show our fellow saints from across the sea a real novel welcome.
All right. You haven't met legs yet. Maestro! Enjoy it. I know you're not too old for a step or two. Show them what you can do.